I was born in New Haven, Sussex, England, on the 17th of June, 1918. I belonged to a hiking club, and we used to go out every weekend on hiking expeditions. And I, at that time, was when the war broke out. We heard about it. I was out hiking with about 12 others, and we were, when we got back to more or less civilization, we were told, oh, the war had broken out. That didn't mean a thing to us. But anyway, it seemed sort of exciting at the time. It was something different anyway. And then the air raid sirens went off. And it was such a terrible sound. Because it was a false alarm. They had a lot of false alarms the first few days of the war, because they were sort of, every time an aircraft came over the North Sea, so they sounded the air raid alarms. But I don't remember my feelings at all too much, except that I thought, oh, the war's on, and that's all there was to it. It didn't sort of hit me at all until the air raid started in London.
Describe the air raids. Were you ever in an air raid?
Oh, yes.
Describe one right from the beginning of just walking down the street or something, and then it happened, like the planes.
Well, what I do remember vividly, I was on a bus. I was going from, we had to get a train to Waterloo Station from Epsom. Well, I had got off the train and walked through the station and got onto the number 76 bus, which would take me to where I was working. And the bus had just started off when I looked out of the window, as much as you could see, because the windows were all covered in sort of a sticky netting stuff that was supposed to stop the window from shattering. I looked out of this window and I saw the people going flat on the pavement, sidewalk to you. And somehow, you know, the instinct sort of gets you. You see somebody going down, you go down, and why, you don't know. But anyway, down I went. And there were two people in front of me and two people behind me that were very, very badly injured. A buzz bomb came down, you know, the V1s, and it hit the side of the station between the bus and the station wall, and blew in on the side of the bus, killed the driver outright, badly injured the two people in front of me, the two people behind me, and filled my hair and one side of my face with glass. I had my hair in tight curls at that time, and every one of those curls was filled with these tiny pieces of glass from the windows as they shattered. If I had been sitting next to the window, I would have been more badly injured, I think. But I was sitting in the other seat by the aisle, the bus aisle. I got shocked more than anything else, and you couldn't move off the bus after it had happened, because people falling all over the place. And ambulances came down from Westminster Hospital and took the people, including myself, to emergency. And they released me because they said, you know, I hadn't suffered any cuts, but to go and see my own doctor when I got home. Well, so I don't remember too much about this, but apparently I must have got a taxi and gone straight to my office. When I got into my office, I collapsed. So they were picking me up, and all over the place was this glass, these little tiny fragments of glass, because as I fell, so they fell out of my curls, you see. So they got me into the nurse's office at work, and she took all these silly curls out. They were stuck in with bobby pins. And just showers of glass fell out. And all I got out of that, really, I was home for about a week with kind of shock. And up to about 10 or 12 years ago, I was still having glass come out of my face. Every now and again, I feel this funny pricky sensation, and to get a pair of tweezers and just pull. These little pieces of glass were still coming out of my face.
Wow. How long did this bombing go on, these bombings? How many years did the V1s?
Well, oh heavens, I don't know. The V1s were on from Boughton. This was in 1944, towards the end of the war. And funny enough, it was part of the buzz bombing that brought my husband and I together. But the V1s came first. They were the things that flew over and looked like little aeroplanes. And then when they cut out, well, you had to cut out too, run for the nearest shelter or fall on the floor or something, because that was when they were dangerous. While you could hear them, it didn't matter, just let them go. But once they cut out, you hit shelter somewhere, because the things came down, just like that. Well, the V2 you never heard. I mean, you just sort of walked along a street and held your, fingers crossed.
What do the people in the city think of this, like this kind of warfare?
Well, funny thing how you get to feel that, well, if I'm going to be hit, I'm going to be hit. I mean, it didn't stop you doing anything. I still went to the movies. I still went to theatres. I still went out to dinner. I mean, if you thought about all the times, well, you might be bombed, I mean, you never do anything. And I had to get to work in the morning, and I had to come home at night. There was only once that I ever got home at all.